Welcome to the last edition of CTV Sports for the year. I'm Leah Cackowski.
I'm Mike Walsh, and before we let our emotions get the best of us, here's what we have in store for you tonight.
In one of the craziest series ever, see how CSU softball fared over the weekend against Fresno State.
Our feature reporter Payton Hagans talks with the men's basketball team to discover just how busy the offseason can get.
And finally, what would this year of CTV be without high school sports? Learn all about Fossil Ridge's girls soccer and the makings of a historic season.
All of that and more on CTV Sports, which starts right now. We begin with a developing situation in the NFL that we feel you should know about if you don't already. It was reported on Sunday that the 2-year-old daughter of former CSU star and current linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Shaquille Barrett, has passed away.
The child drowned in the swimming pool at the family's South Tampa home Sunday morning. According to the Tampa Police Department, officers responded to Barrett's home just before 9:30 a.m. The child was then transported to the hospital where, despite life-saving measures, she was pronounced deceased.
The police report indicated the investigation is still ongoing, but that no suspicious behavior is to be at play. Purely accidental and tragic. Our thoughts are with the Barrett family, including Shaquille, his wife Jordana, and their other 3 children at this time.
And in other news, Colorado State softball had a senior day for the books. Not only did the players get to celebrate all of their accomplishments as Rams, but they also had their most exciting sweep of the season against Fresno State, with not 1, not 2, but 3 walk-off dubs. Let's get right into it because there is so much to talk about. We knew heading into Friday that this series was going to be competitive like no other, and well, it was just that. Friday consisted of a staggered start from both squads and ended up going into extra innings. However, Rams slugger Molly Gates called the game in the 8th with a single to walk it off for the green and gold. Wow. And if you thought Friday was entertaining, think again because let me show you Saturday's madness. So Fresno State starting it off strong in the first with this monstrous Wilson home run deep to right field to get them on the board. But no need to worry, Hayes-Smith getting the Rams out of their slump deep into the 6th inning to finally get the Rams going. And honestly, it just snowballed from there. As you can see, we're finding gaps in the green. And you know, as they say, lousy singles will do it because that strategy did just that, getting the Rams the lead. But the Bulldogs were not going to take that lightly as they responded immediately going into the 7th inning. And honestly, I don't blame them. They had such a big lead and they were not going to give up yet. But honestly, this is where it gets insane. We have Bullender up to bat. We have the fluke hit deep into center field. And oh my gosh, the collision. I hope that they're okay because this ended up getting the Rams the dub with the score of 8-7. Blowing a big lead is never fun, and you could just sense the frustration from the opposing dugout and fan base. And yet, moving into Sunday, the Bulldogs refused to give up their grit once again. They forced another extra inning affair, but Fresno actually remained pretty quiet until, of course, the top of the 7th, when Danielle Cerna came in relief and surrendered a game-tying 2-run homer. Rams starter Jenna Nannon was throwing an absolute gem until that point. But there was no need to worry, as CSU first baseman Haley Smith roped one to left center to end the series in the 9th. I'm feeling so confident and overjoyed by this weekend. This bumps Colorado State up to 3rd in the conference, which is a huge advantage entering the year's final regular season series against Nevada. As we know, it's been pretty up and down couple of months for the Rams, but hopefully this sweep will allow them momentum to finish out the year strong. And speaking of strong finishes, Mike, did the men bring home some hardware home on the golf course?
Well, Leah, this past weekend saw the 2nd of our 2 conference championships for CSU golf, and this time it was the men, who placed 4th in the tournament, just 1 spot short of the women. However, even without that top 3 finish, the Rams still produced some really quality results. As a team, Colorado State shot a 29 under for a total of 835, and by far the story of the weekend came from Christoph Blair, who after finishing in 1st place on Saturday was in the driver's seat for a huge championship win. This one came down to the wire though, as both Blair and Dylan Oyama of San Diego State were tied after the first 18. However, it was Oyama that took Blair down on the 18th hole playoff to steal the win. Regardless, Blair shot an insane 19 under to finish at 197, while his teammates held quite a distance, with Connor Jones shooting a 5 under at 211 and Davis Bryant coming in at 3 under with 213, as neither of them finished top 15. So while the weekend didn't feature a podium appearance for the Rams, they still found some individual success. CSU now looks forward to the men's golf regional coming up in mid-May. And honestly, Leah, I did not expect these standings. I really expected Davis Bryant to be at the top.
I did too. I mean, we know he's been awesome all of these years, but 19 under from Kruse, that's insane.
I mean, him and Davis Bryant have always been at the top. So has Connor Jones.
Definitely.
I just did not think that it would be that different.
That
in those
difference.
Scores.
Yes, no,
Yeah,
absolutely. And while softball and golf are still grinding out the competition, another sport is doing so in a different way.
Yeah, Leah, basketball has been in its off-season form, but with that comes a new set of challenges. We now turn it over to our feature reporter, Payton Hagans, with more on just that. Payton?
Thanks, guys. With the recent roster changes being announced for the men's basketball team, I checked in with head coach Niko Medved and the team to see what they're up to during the offseason.
In a transformative time such as this, Coach Niko Medved recognizes the importance of maintaining a strong team mindset, as well as bringing in new players who fit into the culture he has worked to build at CSU.
Obviously, there's a certain level of talent that a player has to have, a skill level that you really like and you think can compete at the championship level of our league. But for me, three things really stand out, and we want guys who love basketball. If you don't love basketball, this isn't the program for you. You have to have a passion for it. It's got to be something that really, really matters to you at its core. We want highly competitive people who are highly, highly competitive. And to me, a competitive person is not just somebody who likes to win. Everybody likes to win. To me, the competitive people are people who hate to lose. We want high character guys. We want guys that really value being a part of something bigger than themselves. The kind of young men that I would trust with my own children. And so those three things are non-negotiables for me.
And with so many changes being made to the CSU men's basketball program, the offseason brings a lot of these non-negotiables into play when searching out new players.
And, I think what people don't realize, especially about coaching, a lot of times some of your stuff that goes on in the offseason can be busier than the season. Once the season ends, you're immediately getting into recruiting mode. Obviously, you might have players that are leaving. The transfer portal is open. So really, from that time your season ends in March, really through the end of April into May, the recruiting is just nonstop. And the other thing that starts to happen is you're back to doing individual workouts with your own players. So we're really focused on strength and conditioning, individual player development. So our guys have been doing that 4 times a week as well. So we're really in full swing, as busy as we are at any time of the year for really those couple months after the season ends.
Recruiting is only one part of the busy off-season for men's basketball.
This is a year-round job, and there's so many things. A lot of times the spring and the summers are as busy as they are during the year. And the season actually is my favorite time in the sense that then I just get to worry about coaching and basketball, and there's not as many other things going on.
The payoffs from this hectic time of year are seen during the basketball season, in which Medved and his team have a lot to look forward to.
Every season, our job is to look at our team and say, hey, at the end of the year, did we feel like we got the most out of our team? That we became the best version of ourselves. We've got a great group of guys here right now, and then you finally get in June when we start in the summer, and you get like your team, right? You finally get the team for next year on campus, and when everybody kind of gets settled, boy, that's really a cool moment when you can really start working towards something. And I can't wait to get back out after. Last year was a difficult year in a lot of ways, but I think our guys kind of have a chip on their shoulder, and we're ready to get back after it.
As I mentioned, with new commitments, returning players, and the uncertainty of whether Isaiah Stevens will be coming back, I'm super excited to see how the men's basketball team shapes up next season. Mike and Leah, back to you.
Yeah, you know, we've covered them a lot and talked about their transfers a lot, but just getting that personal angle of it and just hearing Medved a lot, that's a really cool angle to come from.
I think that's a side we don't get to see a lot from the coach's perspective. We'll be able to talk to the players and, you know, more fans, but it's really cool to see Medved is excited as well.
And just seeing them in the offseason, I don't feel like we ever see any video.
No, the behind the scenes, it's like we'll see them full front in season, but I love being able to see the behind the scenes.
Agreed, for sure.
Yes.
But in any case, we failed to mention one active team whose season is still in progress. Of course, we would never forget about track and field as the Rams hosted the Doug Max Invitational last Saturday, where the day served as nothing more than a last opportunity for some prep work before the conference push upcoming, and I'd say it was a productive outing. With just a handful of teams, the small meet allowed some Rams to make an impact, and that's exactly what happened. The green and gold dominated across the board as the women won 11 events while the men captured 9. It was the perfect way to celebrate Senior Day and finish the regular season on a high note. The Outdoor Mountain West Championship now looms 9 days and counting, and the indoor squad took home some notable prizes back in late February, so hopefully the outdoor unit can do the same. Regardless, though, the Rams have had a memorable season nonetheless, so whatever happens shouldn't take away from the incredible effort they've put in these last few months. But you know, Leah, I don't think we really emphasize enough how valuable track has been to CSU Athletics this year.
Time and time again, we see them breaking records. They are putting in the work like everybody else, and it's showing, and I've loved being able to cover them this year.
It feels like almost multiple people have broken multiple records this year.
It's like we keep hearing multiple names.
Every week there's more records.
There's something new. No, I totally agree. I think they're a great team, and I've loved being able to watch what they do. And well, it would be a disgrace if we didn't have a high school story of some sort during our last broadcast.
Very true, Leah. And coming in clutch with another special is our very own Dylan Heinrich. Dylan.
Thanks, guys. It's time to pivot back to the high school season. The Fossil Ridge girls soccer team remains undefeated as they enter the final week of their season. I got a chance to catch up with the team following their win against rival Fort Collins. Take a look. While most CSU sports are wrapped up neatly, the high school season rolls on for several more weeks. One team that's been on a roll is the Fossil Ridge girls soccer team. At the time of recording, they sit at 13-0, while outscoring their opponents 64-7.
What can I say? Like, we've all come together, we all love each other, and I think it's just going great so far, and I hope it continues.
You know, at this point in the season, you want to be able to play kind of the best and look real good because it's like a well-oiled machine at this point. They kind of just manage it on the field and talk to each other and adjust when they have to.
The strength of the team can be credited to the strength of the players, as they have bought into the culture and continue to work as one.
Honestly, I think our chemistry is what's given us the head on everybody. Like I said before, everyone loves each other, everyone works hard. It's just a great team overall.
But then the players that we have, they're just so competitive and they have bought into the culture and what we're supposed to look like. And I think they're doing a really good job leading this team. And so everyone else from bottom to top is really following in their footsteps.
In addition to their strength, this team has grown through their smarts by seeing the game of soccer on a whole new level, such as knowing where they are on the field, exposing mismatches, and unbalancing the defense. These tendencies will help guide them to the playoffs as they aim to capitalize on one of their only chances at the state title in program history.
Kind of the buy-in, you know, it's really important. Moving forward, you know, some players might see a little bit more time than others, and I just need to make sure everyone's still engaged and we're still having a good time and we're still kind of in it together. And so to be able to do that is really how you get teams of young women to want to play for each other.
Fossil is currently ranked the #2 team in the 5A division and is currently battling #6 Legacy. On the road, they will return home on Thursday to face off against #1 Broomfield. Can't wait to see the result of that one. Till then, Mike and Leah, back to you.
And well, Rams, we've reached our first break.
But the fun has just gotten started, so stick around because we'll have so much more right after this.
Living with someone you don't know on the other side of the wall is hard, especially if you don't know how to be a good roommate. The first thing that you'll want to do to be a good roommate is make sure that you always stay quiet. Be considerate of others when using common spaces and appliances.
Hey, buddy, what you doing?
I'm just gonna need like 40 minutes. Be respectful of your roommate's privacy.
Ugh, my bad.
Finally, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Oh, fresh toothbrush.
Have you seen my toothbrush?
Follow these tips to get along with your roommates and your landlord.
How's it going, Rams? And welcome to the final episode of CAC's Closeout. Tonight, we'll be bringing back a personal favorite segment that we did 2 weeks ago. That's coming your way on CAC's Closeout, which starts right now. And for our last time, we had to make it special. You might just be seeing me right now, but actually the studio is packed. So let me introduce you to everyone. Up first, over to my right, it's the crew that you already know. From right to left, it's Mike, Peyton, and Dylan. But there's a new face. Everyone, please give a round of applause to our producer, Brandon Torres.
Super excited to be on.
Good to have you on, Brandon. Good to see you.
And then farther on, we come to a recognizable duo. You haven't seen them much this semester, but they're CTV staples nonetheless. Everyone say hello to Ella Fredrikson and Ruby Kayser. Okay, and now that we've introduced the panel, let's get into our segment. If you weren't with us 14 days ago, basically how Guess That Play result works is we'll be shown a highlight. And midway through, the clip will pause precisely at the moment when the play is about to materialize. Each of us will then have to guess what we believe happens next. And because I'm a generous host of CAC's Closeout, why don't we have some of the newcomers introduce the first play? Ella and Ruby, take it away.
Thanks, Leah. Your courteous nature is very much appreciated. And our opening moment actually comes from CSU football.
But don't get too excited. We have to rewind the clocks back a little bit for it. In any case, here it is.
They hand it off. Alexander.
Okay, so our answer choices are A, the Rams running back fumbles the ball out of the end zone for a touchback. B, he dives into the end zone and gets in to tie it up. Or C, he's tackled short of the goal line and the conversion is unsuccessful. I think I'm going to go with B.
B, he gets it, ties it up.
I think so, ties it up.
CSU wins the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Greatest football program to ever
exist. You know where my answers lean towards, Ella. So.
I'm going to say A, he fumbles the ball. You guys, your answers?
I'll start us off here. I think I'm going to go with C. I'm not very optimistic about a fumble here, and I don't think he's going to score, so I'm just going to go he gets tackled short. Peyton, what do you think?
I'm going to say B. I feel like I'm going to run with the optimism, too. Okay. What do you think?
I'm absolutely going to agree with Peyton. We're pro CSU here. I'm going to go B, that they tie it up. Brandon,
I'm going to go with B, too. He's got all the momentum on the DB, so I think he dives, he scores.
No, I'm also going to have to go with the trends. I'm going to be positive tonight, because it's the last show, so we're going to say B. We win it all.
All right, those are our predictions. Let's see what actually happened.
Did he get there? No signal. He didn't make it.
Oh.
He extended that arm, tried to hit the pylon, and came up short.
After further review, the runner did penetrate the goal line with the ball, therefore the try is good.
Trying to put a period on it here. Roberts. From 41.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah.
Got it! It's over! And the Rams run roughshod in the dying moments to steal it.
Now that was one thing I didn't actually predict was going to happen.
It makes me pretty excited that we're playing Washington State this season, though. Maybe we'll have a little repeat of history.
Yeah, it makes me excited, but at the same time, we had to go back to 2013 for that game.
Ella,
so that's
I don't want to hear it.
You got something else about it? You're good. Moving on, we're heading out west to the Diamond for a look between the San Francisco Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals.
With Yastrzemski's speed at second, any ball hit that gets to the outfield that hits the grass is going to score a run.
Okay, our answer choices for this one are A, the Giants hitter strikes out, B, he hits a walk-off 2-run homer, or C, he flies out to the warning track to end the game. Brandon, we'll start with you. What do you think?
I think it's B. The fastball is coming right down the middle. I think he's going to walk it off.
Yeah, that was looking nowhere near like a strikeout, and there is a good chance that he flies out, but I like the optimism train. I'm going to keep it going. I'm going with C. What do you think? I'm
going to say A just to dare to be different.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with B this time. I think we're scoring here. Okay, Leah, what do you think?
Okay, personally, I'm saying C. I think he flies out. That's way too good of a pitch, and he probably got a little overconfident. I'm going to guess that he misses it and flies out to warning track. Ella, Ruby, what do you guys think?
I'm going to have to go B. You know, the optimism train is rolling. So.
I was going to say, I was also going to pick B for this one, just because what's a highlight without a good ending, right?
Yeah,
I'll go B for this one.
All right, that's our baseball intuition. Let's head back to San Fran for the result.
High drive. Center field. It is on here. And this game is over.
I feel like you almost knew that one right away just because of the fans, just the atmosphere. It felt like a home run right when you hit the ball.
I mean, you could tell, with that fastball coming high center, you could tell that ball was getting obliterated. Yeah. And as you can see, it wasn't even close.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm happy to be wrong.
Hey, okay. The best in baseball.
Yeah, there you go.
And on to our third play. We're going to go outside the States for this one and place ourselves in England for some soccer action.
Here's Eriksson. Bruno Fernandes.
All right. Our multiple choice brings us to the following. A, the Manchester United player hits the crossbar and the team fails to score. B, he strikes it past the goalie to extend the lead. Or C, in a chaotic state of affairs, a handball is called for a penalty kick. So, we're going to start with you, Brendan, again. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm not a big soccer guy, but I think C. I'm going to go, he gets a penalty kick.
You know, I'm going to say that the goalie makes a great save here, and so I'm going to go, save from the crossbar, excuse me. Yeah. You know, I love me some goalies, but I think the crossbar really pulls through with this one. I'm going to go A. Payton?
I want to see some chaos happen. I think I'm going to say C.
I almost think C is too specific for not to happen. So I'm definitely going to go C here. Leah, what do you think?
I mean, my soccer knowledge is basically Ted Lasso and Fossil Ridge girls soccer, so yeah, I think it's too specific. We'll go C. C's good. And Ella, what do you guys think?
I was going to say, Mike, you took the words right out of my mouth. C is way too specific to be put in there for it not to happen, so that has to be the answer.
I'm going to go with C, too. I like the little chaotic energy.
Yeah, right?
You know, it's going to happen. I can see
absolutely.
It. All right. That's what we think. Let's see how it really unfolded.
Oh, he's found a way through! Oh, he came off the bar! And then Wan-Bissaka! Goodness me! So nearly 3-1 to United. Bruno Fernandes denied.
Well, it should be 3-1. This is sensational from Bruno Fernandes. Cut the little nutmeg through Lenglet's legs, and then he just lashes at it. He shouldn't lash at it. He should just put his foot, he should just dink it, or just pass it into the goal.
Well. It looks like I am the only one correct. And we did get a goalie save there as well.
You got
both.
True.
I got a feeling, and I love me some crossbar action. So.
We're all happy for you. Okay, let's hit the ice for play number 4. Specifically, we're headed to North Minnesota for action between the Wild and Dallas Stars.
Favor as the Wild come back in. Suter cleans it up and gets it away to Joel Hanley. Now Sagan.
Watch it. I'm too nervous. Okay, our possible answers to this one are A, the Wild defender bodies the Stars player for a nasty hit. B, the Stars forward trips to draw a penalty, or C, he maneuvers around the defenseman for a slick goal? Mike, do you want to start this one?
I kind of want to go C again, but I don't know if it's really going to be right here. But I feel like it's the most obvious option to me, so I'm going to go with that one. Dylan, what do you think?
You know, I really think C is obvious, which is why I think it's not C in this case. But I think we do have another exciting on the board, and I'm going to say A. It was good for me last time. I'm going to stick with A. Brandon.
I'm going to go C. I believe that was Tyler Seguin. He's been playing really good these playoffs, so I think he scores here.
I'm going to go with A. I feel like I'm getting all of these wrong. I'm just going to try to be different from everyone and maybe hope that I come in with an underdog. Leah?
I also want to go with A. The way he was lined up just looks like he was going to go down. Me and Mike were like, oh my gosh. So I'll go with A. Ella, Ruby?
I'm going to go with C. I was hoping for an answer with some, a brawl going on after that. So since that didn't happen, I'm going to go with C.
I was going to say I'm going with A just because what Leah said, the way that they're lined up, there's no way they don't collide and fly all over the place.
Alphonse said B.
All right, it's postseason hockey, so anything can happen. Let's see what transpired in Game 6.
In with speed, it's his, gets around, and scores! What a goal by Rope Hintz, and Dallas with a 1-0 lead here in Game 6.
Worst time, and at the other end of the ice, is the hottest player in the playoffs, coming right off the bench. Little interchange with Seguin. Full flight through the middle. Great play on Klingberg, and it's a one-time shot.
I don't know.
I expected it, but I really asked.
There's a reason a lot of us chose A, because that looked like it was perfectly lined up for hit. Like what Leah and Ella said, I was not ready at all.
Right. Yeah, the way Rope Hintz has been playing these playoffs, I'm not surprised he pulled that off.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's a great player.
That was just an insane move, getting it all the way out there around to not let him hit you there. That was pretty good. Leah, we'll go to you.
I should have trusted the hockey expert himself in with his answer. And lastly, like hockey, the NBA playoffs are also in full swing as well. And this sequence of events comes from a Game 4 between Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors.
Again, another play where your youth is getting exposed. You had so much time, Malik. You did not have to take on two defenders and try to create a circus shot.
The free throw, Steph Curry called a timeout here, and they didn't have any left.
I get it if you're Harrison, but you can get better.
There's De'Aaron from deep. Got it!
Bang!
De'Aaron with 38. Hunting Curry. He's got Curry on the switch. Fox over the bar.
Okay, and with that, here's our list of possible answers. A, Sacramento hits the buzzer beater. B, he misses. Or C, he gets fouled on the shot, where he proceeds to miss all 3 free throws. All right, I know who comes on top in this game, so I am going to guess that he misses because I don't remember actually what happened. But I'm going to say B, he misses the potential shot. Mike, what are your thoughts?
I'm pretty sure I saw this one live, and I'm pretty sure it was a miss, but I don't want to sway your answers. But I'm pretty sure I saw this one. I'm going to go with the miss. Peyton, what do you think?
A miss.
Okay, Dylan?
I'm going to stick with the miss. Harrison Barnes, he's a great player, but wasn't playing good this series. I don't think he's got it in him. Brandon?
I'm going to go with the miss, too.
Ella and Ruby, what do you think?
Maybe I'll switch it up and say he got fouled and then misses the free throws.
Okay.
Just be crazy.
I'm just going to stick with the fact that he misses B.
All right, did the Kings capitalize on an improbable comeback? Let's find out.
Barnes for the lead, and that's it. The Warriors survive.
The two that Fox draws leaves Steph scrambling. He got a great look, just back rims it.
They made Fox play in a crowd out top here. Couldn't out-dribble that double team.
Makes the right play, though. You got to give it up, recognize the time, plenty of time, and
I knew the Warriors came on top of that one. I couldn't necessarily remember if he got fouled, but it was just, he was not lined up there. So he definitely, it was just bound to miss. And well, Rams, that concludes our very last CAC's closeout segment for the year. I guess we're actually closing out tonight. It's been so much fun, and I just have to say, big shout out to our graphics coordinator, Julie, for the best segment bump ever at CTV. But anyways, don't go away just yet, because when we return, it's time for our final send-off from CTV Sports for the semester. We'll be right back.
Welcome back from the final break of the semester, Rams. It is indeed our last show of the year, and my last show leading the charge here at CTV Sports. Disappointing, yes. Sad, oh trust me, it is. I can't say enough how much I've enjoyed my role these past 2 semesters, and with that in mind, I want to pay a special tribute to each of my wonderful staff members. They're all over there at the desk, each with a question handpicked about themselves, and the rest of the panel will have to guess the answer, very similar to Ramboozled After Hours. So without further ado, let's get into it. Our first candidate is my direct coworker that makes these shows as smooth as possible, producer Brandon Torres, who asked the following. What is the best CSU sporting event Brandon has ever attended in person? Is it A, the 2021 season opener for football against South Dakota State, B, men's basketball Orange Out against San Diego State in 2022, the Rocky Mountain Showdown in 2019, C, or D, the men's basketball Whiteout versus Wyoming? All right, it's now discussion time. Mike, we'll let you pick our guests first. What do you have?
I think I'm going to go with the Orange Out here. I think that was one of the more exciting games. I think it's a toss-up between that Whiteout game and the Orange Out game. I'm going to go with the Orange Out game. Leah, what do you think?
I think San Diego State. I just remember that being such a great game, and I can't remember the Rocky Mountain Showdown 2019. Don't think we won,
Don't think
probably.
It was
So, Rocky Mountain Showdown. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. Last show. San Diego State for sure.
Well, I think there was a typo. I think you meant the CSU volleyball Whiteout this year, so I'm going to go with the Whiteout one.
I'm going to say the Orange Out too. That was my favorite, so I feel like that makes sense.
I'm going to agree with Ruby here. I definitely think it's the Whiteout. I remember that game being absolutely crazy. I remember court storming, and I know Brandon loves a good court storming. So I guess we're going to skip right over you. Ella, what do you think?
I was also going to say the Whiteout. I remember being on that court after the game, and the energy was just incomparable to anything else, so that's my final answer.
Okay, well, let a highlight compilation give you the answer. Here's Brandon's favorite CSU sporting event he's ever attended.
Oh,
Brandon, I think they're very disappointed in your answer. Do you want to emphasize a little bit or expand?
I mean, yeah, it was my first ever CSU football game as a CSU student. It was fun for like 5 minutes, and then it wasn't fun, but...
It's a first game. I
get
it. It's a first game.
First time for everything.
Yeah.
I remember it.
A lot too little is what it was.
Yeah.
Not CSU.
God.
That's not good.
Okay, let's move on to another new CTV member this spring. Payton's fact is the following. What did Payton do her first package of on in her CTV career? Was it A, the CSU men's lacrosse feature, B, the Alpine Club ski team, C, pro wrestling in Greeley, or D, March Madness man on the street? All right, Leah, you knew Payton before she joined CTV. Why don't you start us off?
I mean, I think I have a little advantage here because I believe I helped you with this package. It was your first one, and it was the Alpine ski team, and it was a great one, and you did a fantastic job on it.
Thank you.
Well, now with you going first, I don't think it's really fair.
That's true.
I feel like we all know the answers.
Yeah. I could be setting you all up.
You could be. I'm still going to trust you. I'm going Alpine ski.
Yeah.
Alpine ski for me.
I'm going to agree with the Alpine skiing. I remember you talking about taking that trip up there, and so it was one of my first memories with CTV as well, so I will never forget it.
That's precious.
Yeah, I'm taking Leah's word too.
I trust Leah, and it's also just oddly specific.
Yes.
To put it as an answer choice. So
You got to start off strong and
Yeah.
sneaky. We're setting you out in the water right there.
Okay, of course we have a visual for this one as well. Here's what I helped Payton ruthlessly for her first package ever made for CTV.
Though the backcountry may not be right here on campus, the CSU Alpine ski team is still making big runs to represent the green and gold.
My freshman year, I joined the CSU ski team, and our coach now was the president.
I was watching the whole
and
package
really
right
got
now.
me into it.
The welcoming nature is exactly what Entis is produced.
Payton, I know that you traveled, 2.5 hours to record that? That was a really cool way to get involved with CTV.
It was definitely an intro. I got a crepe when I was in Breckenridge, and it was epic. So I'm happy overall, I would say.
Memorable package for
Oh,
sure.
100%. I'll never forget that crepe.
Was your crepe at least like $30? Because I hear they're very expensive.
It wasn't cheap, and I actually got 2. I lied.
Yeah.
I got 2.
Okay, all right, we'll stay with our feature reporters. Dylan Heinrich is up next, and he came to my staff around the same time as Payton, but had a connection with Rocky Mountain Student Media beforehand. With that, he poses the question. What was the first piece of media Dylan wrote for the Collegian? Was it A, the feature on CSU Club Baseball, B, a feature on CSU Track and Field star Gabby McDonald, C, Volleyball Senior Day recap, or D, a recap of the Canvas Community Classic? Payton, why don't you lead us off with your best guess?
I just don't even have a clue right now, so I'll say D. I'll say the last one.
Okay. We'll go with D2. Dylan's a big football guy, so.
don't remember what all the answers were. I will trust Brandon here and go with the football one.
I'm going to go with the volleyball one, just to like mix it up, you know, volleyball senior day.
I want to say volleyball because I don't remember what came first, but I met Dylan at the Canvas Classic, so I think I have to pick that as my answer.
I'm going to agree with you. I definitely think that was his first package. No doubt in my mind.
Dylan, do you want to reveal your answer?
The answer is the Canvas Classic, of course. Those are all 4 articles I wrote at some point, but the Canvas was the first one. I had met Leah there for the first time, and now I am here as part of CTV as well. So it's been a journey.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. And I will say, Canvas Community Classic, one of the best days of my life. I got to see Fossil Ridge destroy Fort Collins in Canvas Stadium. Colton Pollock had a monster game.
Brandon, this is nothing new. Okay? I don't know why you're wearing the purple, because it's Sco Ridge every day.
Heck yeah, it is. All right, let's get into the volunteer pool. Ruby is a very, very busy person, but that didn't stop her from enjoying her free time as a child. That said, here's what Ruby asks. What was one of Ruby's childhood hobbies? Was it A, roller skating in the street in different costumes, B, competing in her hometown rodeo, C, joining the flag football boys league, or D, unicycling around her neighborhood in pigtails? Ruby, or you're the one who's had the question?
I'm not giving it away.
Mike, go ahead.
I don't really know. Honestly, I got no background information here. I'm going to go with flag football just to throw it out there. Leah, what do you think?
Well, Ruby's probably one of the coolest and most diverse people I've met ever, and I know you're from Oregon. I don't know if rodeo culture is big back there, but I just want to take a wild guess and say that you were involved in the rodeo.
Ruby would find it. So.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm going to go with like the specific kind of idea that we had with the last segment. The neighborhood and the pigtails and the unicycle is like a lot of detail, I feel like.
It is.
So I'm going to go with that one.
Not only is it a lot of detail, I'm going to agree with the unicycling, it's just such a vivid image in my mind that it's just so memorable and immediately draws me to those. So D, unicycling.
I'm gonna go with the roller skating, I believe. Just sounds really fun. Fun thing to do as a child.
I am going to go with the flag football one only because I've seen so many pictures of you willingly putting on a football helmet. Reason behind it.
Okay, Rui, that was a lot of diverse opinions on what the experience was like. What was it?
Well, it was roller skating around in costumes in the street, but I have a little background in each of them. I did train my horse in the rodeo. I didn't do the rodeo, but I could do events for the rodeo. I've done a lot of things. The specifics, Brandon wrote that one, so that will give you the reason why that was specific. But yeah, I'd put my stereo out in the street, roller skates on, costumes, and roller skate around in front of my yard. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, and on to our other volunteer for the spring semester. Former Tuesday Night Sports anchor Ella Fredrikson asked the following. What did Ella do in a frantic panic 3 minutes before a show last semester? Was it A, change her outfit, B, re-edit her package, C, cut her bangs, or D, leave and refuse to go on camera? Now, I know Mike knows the answer to this. Okay, we're going to start with Brandon.
This is actually funny. I believe I might have been here for that, so I think it was where she cuts her bangs.
All right, I'll just keep going down the line. The idea of cutting your bangs is just so funny, especially right before a show. I mean, that just seems like something that would totally happen, and I think Brandon's always right over here.
Take my insight.
Take his insight. I'm going to go with the bangs as well. Payton?
Of course, Brandon is always right. There's that. And also, I've been in a frantic, manic state, so I'm going to say the bangs too.
When I read the bangs one, I was like, Ella did that.
I'll just let Mike answer because he's sitting next to her.
Yeah, I was sitting there, and she just takes out scissors and cuts the hair. I've never seen anything like it. Probably never will again.
Ella, why did you do that?
I was going through run-through, and I saw on the camera out of the corner of my eye that they were uneven. I was like, I cannot do the show like this.
Take care of it.
I told someone from Studio Crew, I was like, do you have a pair of scissors, and can you bring it down here really fast? And I ran to the mirror that was on the door, and I cut my bangs 30 seconds before the show started.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's dedication. Right?
Thank you.
Wow.
Anything for the show business. Anything.
All right, and now we get to the two main finalists. Now, Mike's reading is exceptional and very consistent, don't get me wrong. But the process of being an on-air talent isn't free from its mistakes. So, considering that, Mike wonders, which Colorado high school did Mike badly mispronounce on air? Was it A, Arapahoe, B, Cherokee Trail, C, Regis Jesuit, or D, Chaparral?
I haven't started one yet, so I will start.
Go for it.
I am going to go with Chaparral. It's a bit of a tricky name, just first looking at it, especially compared to the others, and I think Chaparral definitely gave you some fits. Brandon?
I'll go with Chaparral, too. It's a hard word for Mike to pronounce.
I feel like I remember this happening, and I think it was Cherokee High School, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah.
I'll go with Chaparral too.
What was the one that started with an A?
Arapahoe.
Arapahoe.
I went to high school there.
Oh, okay. I feel like that was the one.
So I sat next to Mike during this lovely one, and from Colorado, Chaparral is one of really good high school, and he practiced multiple times. He had it down. He could not get the words out of his mouth. It was great. Chaparral.
Okay, Colorado High School Athletics has a lot of teams that are not hard to pronounce, but unlike here is what Mike struggled with.
Okay, that was the good. Now for the bad. The Fort Collins Lambkins have had a tough start to the season, dropping their third straight to Cherokee Trail.
What was it? Cherokee Trail?
You're just thinking of karaoke later that night. I'm getting too excited.
I'm not going to lie to you, though. I did pronounce Chaparral wrong 3 times.
I can at least defend myself with that because I remember it.
There was a period in the show, and I just said it 3 times because I could not get it right.
I was hoping I was right about that because I remember that show.
So
and
both
I
are
remember
technically.
you being upset about
it. Yeah. So both of them are technically correct, but Cherokee was the one.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we were going live, and Mike had struggled with it 3 times, and when he pronounced it correctly, I was like losing my mind. I was so excited. And last but not least, we have a very similar question from Leah. Like Mike, both are truly amazing on desk, but the word slippage, but not in a bad way, by the way, can rear its ugly head. So here's what we have from Leah. Which American city could Leah not bring herself to announce correctly on air? Was it A, Chattanooga, B, Spokane, C, Albuquerque, or D, Honolulu? Okay, I'm gonna make sure we don't start with someone that already knows the answer, So I'm going to go with Payton first.
I'm going to say Chattanooga, just because that's a funny word in general. I feel like I'd struggle with that. What do you think?
You know, I remember a running gag around the word Honolulu, specifically related to Leah, and so while I don't think I was there for this moment, I'm going to guess that it's Honolulu. Brandon?
I'm going to agree with Payton. I think it's Chattanooga. It's hard to pronounce, so I would be surprised.
I don't know when this happened, but I can picture myself reading Honolulu. And I know me and Leah have worked together since day one and have a lot in common with our broadcasting mannerisms, so I'm going to go with Honolulu.
I'm going to go with Chattanooga. I feel like maybe.
I think this one's definitely Honolulu. Well, let's watch the video.
Okay, those are all their predictions. I remember this very vividly. Let's see what actually happened.
Oh, God. But, like Colorado State, the Rainbow Warriors were able to compete against Nevada, taking the W 31-16. That said, Hawaii has yet to have a road win. Nonetheless, let's see what's bringing success in Honolulu.
Oh my
God! It was funny too because she pronounced it wrong. They pronounced it wrong again. And Honolulu's not that complicated of a word.
It kept getting worse.
It wasn't even close to right that first time. It's like the letters were just mixed up completely.
I think it's a pretty common place.
The only reason I got it right is because I put myself in.
She was just playing a game of Scrabble in her head.
Yeah.
It's all right. Mixed up.
Like Honolulu?
Yeah.
Oh my God, good times. Miss you Thursday night sports.
And well, that brings us to the end of this Ramboozled Inspired segment. Back to you all on desk.
Thanks, Brandon. All right. So now that we, as well as you tuning in at home, know a bit more about the shenanigans that go on behind the scenes here at CTV, as well as a few more personal details about us, it's finally time for us to say our goodbyes until the fall. Even though, let's be honest, we've been procrastinating for 30+ minutes.
Trust us, things will look a whole lot different come August, but before we begin to look ahead, Brandon, come on and join us. Right here.
Yeah, of course.
It wouldn't be even remotely possible for us to close things out for the year without giving a special thank you to the man that made it all possible. Brandon, whether it was the late nights helping us plan stories and edit our content, coming up with creative ideas to always keep Tuesdays interesting, or the special ability you have to bring people together and make them feel cared about and respected, none of our success this year could have happened without you. I think we can all agree that you're one of the hardest working special people we know that always has a bright future. And because of that, we just had to get you something to celebrate the amazing job you've done leading us as our sports director over the course of the school year. Madeline, bring it out.
Oh, it's Fossil! Oh my God.
Brandon, you are the biggest Fossil Ridge fan we know, and possibly in the entire Fort Collins area. Oh my gosh.
I don't want to meet him.
So obviously, that's what we had to feature on the cake. Shout out to the awesome Madeline Davis for making it.
Oh my gosh. I will say, I remember when I was wanting, I'm sorry, I'm going to get so emotional. I remember when I was wanting to come back to CTV during the summer, and I wanted to originally be a sports anchor. And so I reached out to Kayser, who was our assistant executive producer, and he was my sports director. A couple of you had him as sports director. And I just wanted to get back in some way, and we had anchor spots all filled, but we were still looking for a director. And I wasn't sure at first. But I can truly say that was the best decision I have ever made. Each of you is just truly outstanding, wonderful people to work with. Mike and Leah, you guys have done so well. I'm so excited from what you guys did in Las Vegas to how much you guys have grown, especially your team chemistry on desk is just amazing. Ruby, I think what really spoke to you is when you, during the Rammies, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
When you got the award for most done in the community. Like, that really speaks volume to your character. So just shout out to you. Dylan and Payton, it's been such a great time to have you guys on. The amount of growth that you guys have seen when creating video content has been truly remarkable. Dylan, I at first thought you were a Rocky Mountain high school student, and then I realized you're a Fossil student, and I immediately hired you. But I mean, you're going to do so amazing things at such a young age. Brandon, it's been such a pleasure to work with you. You're very self-sufficient. You're very just a hard worker, and I trust you in everything to get the show prepared and ready. And so I really hope you stay on, because you can do so many things, and we got to see a little bit of your anchor experience as well. And Ella, it was a shame that you weren't able to be another Tuesday night anchor again, but it's been so glad to have you that one time we did, and to have you back on. Like, I'm so happy all of you guys are here today. It's been such a pleasure to work with you and to have it all encapsulated with all of you. And then, hey, you're here. Madeline, I think for you, it's just, you're such, I remember the first time I reviewed video content, it was your Jenny Kavnar package, your Jenny Kavnar feature. And I was kind of overwhelmed by how good you were at creating video, and you still have one more year left. And I know you have so many immense passions to be an announcer, some sort of on personality for baseball. Okay, good. Having you on has been also great, and I'm excited to see you on Thursday, because I still have one show left with you.
Yeah.
So, and that's all I have to say.
Good. All right, Ram fans, it's finally time. We won't delay the inevitable any more than we already have.
Thank you all so much for tuning in over the course of the year. We hope you have an awesome night and amazing summer. We'll see you like super soon. As always, good night. Have a great weekend. What's up, Rams? I'm Leah Cackowski, and thank you so much for watching us here on CTV Sports. To see more amazing CTV content, click over here. Catch you later, Ram fans.